being very open in the beginning and saying, look, we're going to work together. You're going to become my director of sports medicine, but you and I are still friends. But this is business, and this is how I want you to behave in business. And just the quality of person I'm dealing with, these are really good human beings that understand that piece. But being very upfront with it. Most of the guys that are in this department, both male and female, are handpicked by me. They've either worked with me, worked together with me, and now work for me. So I would tell you that I'm very comfortable with that. I present a very good, transparent, open relationship with people that I've worked with. George Nessman and I worked together 25 years ago. Scotty Shaw and I worked together. Ken McDonald, Johnny Poach. I mean, the list of people in this building that I've worked with and now work for me is a lot. And that's how I want it, because I trust them. I mean, nothing ever came easy for me. I mean, I started in high school athletics. I worked my way to the NFL. Nobody gave me a golden spoon. So, it's all about when you get the chance, how you play the game. And I've been very lucky. I've worked in some schools, and people have given me opportunities, and I have done very well for that opportunity, which then leads to another opportunity. So that's kind of it's a domino effect in talent. If you have talent, nobody can teach it. At the same time, talent's never enough. And if you have a guy that has a tremendous amount of talent and a tremendous amount of drive, you can't keep them down. You can't keep it in a corner. And in my career, I was athletic director at De La Salle High School. I was 25 years old. So, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. I was the youngest guy in the state of California, running the best football program in the state of California for 10 years. So part of me is just it's just my natural tendency to want to be better than I was. You get to see young men and women succeed at the highest level of amateur athletics. You get to shape that. You get to be part of that. You get to see them graduate, and you get to see them go on and have life. So, I mean, the positive is the young men and women you deal with. The other positive is the people in the business. These are really good human beings in this business. Not everybody, but majority of the people in this business are good, fun people to work with. And then 3, I think, working in sports. I mean, how can you not? If you're a kid that played sports, how do you? I wake up every day. I work in athletics. I work in banks and business. I'm not an architect, not an engineer. I have the job everybody like to have. So I work in athletics. So to me, it's like every day you get up, you go, wow, I'm working in athletics again today. It's a cool feeling. Now, some days are hard, but even in the hard days, I still work in athletics. Then the other one was my 3 negatives: having to fire people, having to change coaches. I fired 11 head coages since I've been here. Which means we have 11 new guys and gals, but I've had to let 11 people go. That's not fun, because in some senses it's their fault, some senses it's not. But no matter what, our business, the cycle of coaching in our business is not very long for most sports. So I think that's a definite negative, that we're constantly pressuring our coaches to win or go. And the higher the level you get, the higher the pressure becomes. And the AD's I'm always the valve guy. Turn it up, turn it on, turn it up, turn it on. Second negative, I think, is the exploitation, what looks to be of the media, of what's going on in sports. I think that's a negative because there's a real have and have not in our business right now. So I don't have $100 million like Ohio State does, but the job's exactly the same. But that team's always going to be better because they get more resources to bring better. I mean, it's a real ugly dynamic that, in my opinion, needs to be addressed because revenues aren't matched up. Expenditures aren't matched up, quality of programming gets affected, and if you get successful, you try to maximize instead of trying to centralize, and so then you're now just like them. I mean, Boise State doesn't give the rest of us in the conference because they don't have to, and yet there's no collegiality anymore among the big programs with the rest of us. There's just not, and that's sad. Sports leaders, I would say for sure, a guy named Moose Krause, who was the athletic director at Notre Dame when I was a student there, who is a legend, just kind of bigger than life guy. I think in our business, Bill Walsh was a huge influence in my life. He was around. He's the one that got me to apply this job. He's the one that convinced me to leave the NFL and take this job. A guy named John Kasser, who was the athletic director at Cal Berkeley, who hired me from St. Mary's College, who sat me down. I was the athletic director at St. Mary's College. He said, don't let your first AD job be your last. I'm like, what? He said, come work for me at Cal. Come be my assistant AD. Right now you're an AD at a little small 1AA school. Don't let your first AD job be your last. Come work with me. Come work in the Pac-10. So I did. The smartest thing I ever did. And, he's just had a huge influence on me because he sees it. He sees the vision. He sees he flies at 30,000 feet. So, Brother Jerome Gallegos, who hired me, Christian brother who's now dead, who hired me at De La Salle. He was very influential, very good man, very good to me. And I think, over the past, just watching some of my guys in the business I really respect. I respect Gene Blaemire in Boise very much. He's been there 29 years, and what he's done. I respect very much what he's done. So what I would say is that if I'm now currently a graduate student in the master's program in sports management at San Jose State University, I would tell you the future's bright. It's brighter now than it's ever been for young men and women to get into our business if they're willing to work extremely hard and do it for a much longer period of time than would be traditionally known. Meaning that getting an opportunity, getting into the program, and then staying on course. You're going to see more and more job opportunities happen over the next, I'd say, 28 months that are entry level. People will not want to take those entry level positions, and so they'll look for a talent base that's willing to do that. So the careers in athletic management are going to be very, very lucrative, but they're not going to be lucrative for about another 10 or 15 years. So the idea right now to get in is, if you're a young male or female in this program, is do well academically, build your network, and go forward and know that you will get an opportunity at some point. And what you do with that opportunity will drive the next 7 or 8 opportunities after that. And if you hit a home run, keep hitting home runs, because people will recognize talent in our business. It's hard to find talent in our business on every position and everything that we do. So the more chances that you shine and show your stuff, the better it's going to be. Thank you for letting me talk today. Go Spartans.